The nodal cycles come back to the same signs about every 18 and a half years. And these are the most life-changing moments for a lot of us who have planets in those signs, as it will literally shift your life purpose, present you new people, new ideas into your life. So we're soon beginning the Virgo Pisces axis yet again. Now the North Node is still in Aries, but September 17th, we have a lunar eclipse at 26 degrees of Pisces. October 2nd, we also have a solar eclipse at 10 degrees of Libra. Really, 2025, we are going to see a huge shift, but even from now on, from September, especially for people who have planets in Virgo and Pisces, you guys are going to have a life-changing events. You're going to be changing relationships, jobs, homes. A lot of big shifts and changes are coming. Every time the North and South Node change signs, we're also going to see beauty standards change. What's popular is changing right now with the North Node being in Aries. You see a lot of individuality and people talking about relationships. You see it all over online, what to do, what not to do. Men and women going against each other. We have also the 4B movement that came out, where women are just not dating, or people giving up on dating altogether. The birth rates are declining. And this is especially true, and we see it brought forth into the media now because the South Node is in Libra. So it's not just that the South Node things fall away, but they are going to be brought to our attention. And they're brought to our attention so that we could let go of negative aspects of what is not working and make it work better, or make it work for the times we are living in. So the South Node will be in Virgo, which means we will be letting go of certain health practices. Also, the whole service industry as a whole will change. And it's probably shifting even right now. I mean, part of it is the economy and the way the state of the economy right now, which is kind of, not good. But a lot of layoffs are going to be happening, and a lot will be changing when it comes to the workplace, the workforce, and consumerism. And with the North Node being in Pisces, we're going to see a lot of change in beauty, art, and relationships yet again, because Pisces rules relationships, but on a deeper level. Pisces also rules the media, photography, clothing, fashion design. It also rules escapism. Pisces is also the sign of love and giving. Other people all around the world. So people from all around the world collectively can be coming together more and sharing ideas with each other. So this is going to be interesting how it shifts, how things shift in the media. The nodes actually do not change signs into the Virgo Pisces axis until January 11th of 2025. One thing I see as being pretty prominent and huge is that the North Node will be in Pisces, but every eclipse that we have in Pisces is a lunar eclipse, meaning you will have to be letting go of something in order for something new to come in, also signifying to me that wherever you have the sign of Pisces, other people will be playing a bigger role in what transpires. And in general, that is what the eclipses bring in, fated events outside of our control to make us grow and evolve. You can look back at 2015, 2016, 2017. Now at that time, we had the North Node in Virgo and the South Node in the sign of Pisces. But you can see what two areas of your life were changing drastically. So you can kind of see, what was happening back then. So if you're old enough, you've been through a few cycles, you can see the theme that was playing out. Also, really look back at 2006, 2007, and early 2008. The eclipses that were happening then What was going on? Because we had the North Node in Pisces, the South Node in Virgo, and the degrees were almost the same, not exactly the same, but almost the same. What was happening in your life? The themes will be alike. Of course, different people, different situations, you're at a different stage in your life, but the themes that are playing out will be the same. So I'm going to go over each sign. I'm going to kind of briefly go over what you're going to expect in this eclipse cycle. And then I'm going to talk about the September 17th lunar eclipse in Pisces we are going to have. Aries, the Virgo Pisces eclipse axis that's going to be happening for the next 2 years. For you will be happening in your 12th and 6th house. The North Node will go into your 12th house of hidden enemies, things behind the scenes. So it is going to be for you a lot of releasing things that have been holding you back. But you could also be paying off debt, traveling, learning new spiritual practices that help you within your life, or maybe within any kind of problems that you have been having. People that no longer serve you will reveal themselves to you through either maybe gossiping about you, showing their true colors. That is the 12th house. It is things happening behind the scenes. So you could also be working on major creative projects behind the scenes. And this will unfold to you within the next 2 years. The South Node will be in your 6th house, where you are going to be releasing any bad habits, maybe even employees that work for you, or a change of employees that work with you. You could even be changing service providers, because that's also the 6th house. Anyone that does any kind of services for you, a dentist, a hairdresser. So if you get massages or anything like that, maybe the gym that you belong to, you're going to be releasing bad habits as well. Yeah, and it can come easily, or it can come through like a health scare, or bills piling up, and maybe you are finally letting go. You're paying them off, because that is also the 6th house. Routines, organization, and you could be letting go of all old routines and starting brand new ones. Now, the North Node in the 12th house will be unfolding to you new creative self-expression. Watch your dreams, but definitely watch the people around you. Watch what they do, watch who you hang out with, because when the North Node is in the 12th house, it can reveal to us who our true friends are, who are the true people that are meant to be in our lives. The 12th house is also the house of losses, the breakdown of certain things. So if you haven't been taking good care of your health right now, you could be alarmed. There could be something that comes up where you are shifting the way you deal with your health habits, the way that you pay off debt, the way that you organize your day-to-day life, or even, because the 6th house is also going to be having eclipses, how you manage work, how you manage your schedule. So it may seem mundane on some level, but it's pretty big, because we can let go of anything that's been holding us back. If you now have any addictions, this is the perfect time to let them go. If you've been eating, not well, this is the time to change your eating habits, change your exercise habits, change your organization. So a lot of these things will be coming up for you so that you can change them and evolve. If you have personal planets in the sign of Pisces and Virgo, you can expect even more personal changes. If it's Sun, your career, you can change your image, the way that you look, your whole body can transform. If it's Moon, it could not just be your emotions, but also your home life, your family. If it's Venus, your love life, your money could be changing. If it's Mars, your actions, Saturn, your responsibilities. So a lot more could be changing. You don't just look at the house, you look at the planets. If you have planets that are close, very close to an eclipse that will be happening, this can indicate major changes in the area of life that planet rules for you. The September 17th lunar eclipse will be happening at 26 degrees of Pisces. So if you have a planet from 23 to 29 degrees of Pisces, this will affect you more. Or even from 23 to 29 degrees of Virgo in your 6th house, because it will be opposing this. So this lunar eclipse can be a little more confusing and emotional. It's closely tied in with Neptune, so there could be some confusion coming out of this eclipse. So try not to make any rash decisions. Things can be revealed to you, maybe a secret. Your secret could be told, or you could find out a secret that someone has been keeping from you. Being closely tied with Neptune, you could get downloads and dreams about future creative endeavors, future creative projects. So watch your dreams, but also watch your stuff. Watch where you are. The 12th house rules hidden enemies, and they could show up right now. And you might not know who they are. That's the theme of the 12th house. You might not be well aware of who they are yet. Over time, through this eclipse cycle, some people who you call friends might turn out, to not be true friends. And this sometimes can happen with eclipses in the 12th house. Or it could be colleagues, because this is opposing your 6th house. So enemies and people you are in competition with you could be revealed to you, and it could start within the next 6 months of this eclipse. This is also a great time to see if you have anything that is holding you back, any addictions, any kind of negative thinking patterns that you could let go. This is a lunar eclipse, and it is about releasing something that no longer serves you so that you can make room for better things. So if it's maybe you have some addictions, maybe you want to replace them with better habits. So it is a time where we could all on a collective be feeling more emotional, but you could really feel emotional about maybe thoughts that are holding you back, negative thinking patterns. And this is the time to release them, let them go. So something could come up, out of the blue to shock you, to make you aware of your negative thinking patterns. Taurus, the eclipses that are going to be happening over the next almost 2 years in the Virgo Pisces axis are happening for you in your 11th house of groups, friendships, organizations, and your 5th house of children, romance, creativity, even stocks, bonds, or games of chance. So you're going to have the South Node in your 5th house, Taurus. So it could be, maybe one of your children over the next 2 years will be moving out, going to college, or, leaving the nest. It could also be that you let go of your expectations for love, romance, or you let go of a creative project. You finish it, maybe put it out into the world, make it a business. It could be a time where you benefit from the stock market, or maybe even leave the stock market altogether. And it can be a time where your creative self-expression, your hobbies, what you do for fun changes. You let go of some things and you bring new things into that area of your life. Now, the North Node will be in the sign of Pisces. It will be in your 11th house. So over the next 2 years, you can find new groups, new friendships, new clubs that you belong to, maybe new social media clubs that you start following. It can also be a time where some of your wildest dreams come true. What you have always dreamt for, what you've been working hard can come to pass. It could come to you. It could be a time where you lose certain friendships. You let go of certain friendships so that you could meet people that are like you right now. Whatever that you are into can also lead you to discover new dreams, new hopes for the future. So if you have planets, personal planets in the sign of Pisces and Virgo, as these eclipses happen, it can also activate different parts. If your sun is in Pisces or Virgo, it could be your career change, a physical change. You change your style, you change your body, you change your appearance. If it's your moon, your home and family life can change drastically. Marriage, children, moving, buying a home. If it is your Venus, money and love can change, as well as looks. If it is your Mars, it could be what you do that changes, where you take initiative. If it's Saturn, then new responsibilities could come into your life, or old ones could be released. On September 17th, the lunar eclipse will happen at 26 degrees of Pisces. If you have planets or points from 23 to 29 degrees in the Pisces Virgo axis, you can feel this even more. This is a lunar eclipse. It's closely tied with Neptune. There's so much going on in your 11th house anyway, with Saturn being there. So you are restructuring your dreams, your friendships, the groups that you belong to, who you follow on social media. But this can be where secrets are exposed. Secrets are exposed. You expose secrets, or somebody exposes secrets. You find something out because of Neptune. Something could be cloudy within your social circle. Within your friendship group, you could find out, maybe somebody's not really truly a friend, or you want to change the friendships that you have because you no longer align with the people that are in your life. It's also a time where you just can be more emotional about your hopes and dreams. Your hopes and dreams might change. This is a lunar eclipse. It's a time of letting go, releasing something so we can make room for something new. And over the next 2 years, you're going to feel that the 11th house, your groups and friendships, and your 5th house, your creativity, your romance, your children, things are shifting and changing in these two areas majorly. And this is the very beginning. This is when you're going to start to feel it. So if you have planets at the very tail end of Pisces, this will really affect you. Eclipses will bring stuff out of the blue, fated events. So you're going to meet people you are meant to meet. In the next 2 years, you are going to meet new people that are meant to be in your life, and you might have to let some go. Or they're going to be going through huge changes in their lives as well. The 11th house also rules older siblings. So those of you who have older siblings, new things can be transpiring in their lives, and it could affect you. It could affect your relationship that you have with each other. So this is an emotional time, and it's definitely not a good time to make rash decisions. Wait and see what the eclipses bring, what news unfolds, what unfolds for you during this, because a lot of times some eclipses don't even affect us. If you don't have any planets or points, you might not really see a huge shift and change. If you do have personal planets around the 23, 24, 25, 26 degrees, you can definitely feel it. You can feel the changes, and they're going to be presented to you. So you're not going to be able to get away from them. You're going to make these changes, or these changes will be made for you. It could be friends move away and you meet totally new people. You start a new job and you become friends with different people. So a lot could be transpiring within your 11th house area. Gemini, when eclipses start happening now in the Virgo and Pisces axis, your life will completely shift and change, whether you are a Gemini ascendant, sun, or moon. Because whenever eclipses happen in the 1st, 7th, 4th, and 10th house axis, they affect us even more. Our changes are dramatic. Now, the nodes don't actually shift until January, but right now in September, we're already having an eclipse in the sign of Pisces. But when they do shift in January, you're going to have the North Node in the sign of Pisces in your 10th house of career and public image, and the South Node in the 4th house of home, family, emotions, mother. So huge changes coming into your inner and outer world. If you have planets in the sign of Pisces and Virgo, this will affect you even more. If it's Sun, it will be your career, public image will be changing. If it's Venus, it's your love life, your money, your moon, your family, your emotions. Mars, your action, and Saturn, your responsibilities. Changes that you can expect, Gemini, is when the South Node is in your 4th house, watch your parents' health, watch your mother's health. Your mother could be going through some emotional upsets or some changes. There could be a lot of changes in and within your home. This can be a time where you're letting go of a property. Maybe you're selling a property, selling a car. You could be moving, having a big move, or just a lot of changes going in internally and within your home environment. The people that you live with can change. And with the North Node in your 10th house, you can see a positive direction with your career. But you know how it is with eclipses. Sometimes it comes out of the blue. You could lose a job and then maybe start your own business, get a promotion, move for a job. A lot of Geminis can be moving within the next 2 years for a job. And remember, Uranus is also going to be going into Gemini within this time frame. So huge leaps and bounds will be made in the area of career and public image. This is the time. If you've been thinking about doing something on your own, going out there on your own, starting your own business, side hustle, do it, because the North Node is there. So a lot is unfolding for you in your career over the next 2 years. Drastic, big leaps and changes within your home and career. Now, this eclipse on September 17th is a lunar eclipse at 26 degrees of Pisces happening in your 10th house. So if you have planets from 23 to 29 degrees of Pisces or Virgo, you're really going to feel this. This is closely tied with Neptune. It can be where you are seeing things for what they are. You know, there could be a lot of emotions and confusion around this time. And maybe you are letting go of a job, an idea that you had about a business, and you have to let go of it to make room for something else. Lunar eclipses want us to complete something. So maybe you are completing a project, completing a job, and you want to move forward. It wants you to let go of something so that you can make room for something new to grow. And now within the next few months here, you can see a lot of growth in your career, or that it's going to be heading in a new direction, as well as your public image. Your whole image could change within the next 6 to 8 months, Gemini. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the nodes will be shifting. This won't be happening until January, but we do have an out-of-sign eclipse happening in September, which I will get into in a minute. I just want to take the time and tell you that when the nodes shift, you are going to have the North Node go into your 9th house and the South Node in the 3rd. So if you have planets in Pisces and Virgo over the next 2 years, you're going to see drastic changes there, especially if the eclipses get close to those planets that you have in those 2 signs. You're going to really feel the changes. If you have Sun or Moon in Virgo or Pisces, this is huge. Sun, it could be an image, health change, a career change. Moon, a family change, a move, your emotions. Venus, relationship changes to your aesthetic, what you love, what you don't love. Money changes. Jupiter, it could be changes in knowledge and philosophy. Now with Mercury, it could be gaining new skill sets, letting go of old outdated skill sets. With Saturn, gaining new responsibility or letting go of old responsibility. With Mars, it could be your actions, the actions that you take, the lives of your siblings. Look back to 2006, 2007, early 2008. The themes are exactly the same with the South Node going into your third house. You're going to see changes with your siblings, or maybe the relationship you have with your siblings, with your neighbors, with those closest to you. And you're probably going to even move. You could even move, change jobs with this happening in your third house, because the third house is your immediate environment. It's your neighborhood. It's your neighbors. So you can see your neighborhood changing, the neighbors that live around you changing, your whole environment changing. And you could take drastic measures to change that. Maybe let go of certain hobbies that you do. You've been putting in effort into certain things, and now you want to change that and put effort into different things. With the North Node going into your ninth house, you are going to focus on learning. Maybe some of you are signing up for a college course, or you're learning something new, or you're planning on traveling, getting your passports, applying for visas, applying to maybe try to live in a different country. You could be going into business, what has to do with like a foreign land, or you could be publishing your work. Maybe you are making a course, you're publishing a book, you're writing something, you're putting out there, something out into the world. It could be also a time where maybe legal issues come up, or you decide to take the legal route with something you've been working on. But it really does signify learning, finding a spiritual teacher, finding a teacher, a mentor, or teaching something. You have something to show the world, to teach the world, whether through publishing or making a course, or through travel, or just getting involved with your community, as well as going into just regular school, a regular university. It could be a time where some of you are going back to school. You're getting more credentials for work that you need. And during the next 2 years, you're going to see these things unfold. This eclipse on September 17th is a lunar eclipse in Pisces. So it's at 26 degrees if you have any planets. From 23 to 29 degrees of Pisces, you're going to feel this a little bit more. So this can make you a little bit more emotional. Neptune's closely involved here. So what you can see is maybe you notice some deception or some untruths, or you are uncovering something. You could be uncovering something when it comes to publishing, the course that you're putting out there, the people that you work with or that you are learning from. It could be a time where you become more emotional and you want to find a spiritual teacher. You want to share something with the world through publishing, through making a course, or maybe it has to do with foreign travel, visas, applying for things like that. And this could be a little bit more emotional or confusing, so I wouldn't do anything right around the eclipse. If information comes to you, just take it and see if you could wait a week or two to make the final decision, because you might need more information. There's been a lot of activity in your ninth house because of Saturn, Neptune already in there. Now, with the nodes coming in there this January and this eclipse happening, for some of you, it could even be where you are involved in a legal dispute, a custody case, or something like that, where there's just things you need to keep going back to and redoing because of Saturn, Neptune. So some things keep coming out, untruthful matters in education, in court, and anything like that could be showing up right now. And it's, you have to just stand strong and be tough. So this eclipse can bring on a lot of emotions or a lot of redos because of Neptune and Saturn. Something you have to really hone in and focus on. Leo, sun, moon, and rising, we are going to have the nodes shift. This won't be happening until January, but we do have an out of sign lunar eclipse coming up. So I want to briefly touch on what over the next 2 years is coming your way as the nodes shift. The south node will be in your second house in the sign of Virgo, and the north node will go into your eighth house, the sign of Pisces. And this is huge. because wherever the South Node is things we need to let go of. And wherever the North Node is where we are getting something. But both houses are affected, and they kind of work hand in hand. So this is me just giving you a little bit of a preview, and you'll see this preview this fall in September. So when the South Node is in the second house rules our finances, our possessions, and it also rules our lineage, our family. Sometimes a lot of people break up, get a divorce when the South Node is going through the second house. It could be a time of dental work or a time where you are letting go of your possessions, sifting through what you no longer need and want, maybe downsizing, or you're letting go of a source of income and you're going to rely more on a partner's income. It could be a time where some of you are freshly coupled, freshly married, or going to be. You're going to be taking that next step with somebody, so you're going to be relying on your partner's money. It could be a time, because the North Node will be in your 8th house, where you make a huge move and let go of a lot of your possessions and start over, somewhere new for some of you. It could be a time where you maybe get an inheritance, benefit from loans, scholarships, other people's money. So this can also indicate stock market, or just making money with your partner, through your business partners, other people. It could be a time where you are really sifting through any kind of trauma you've been holding on to as well. With the North Node there, you could really get into tarot, astrology, occult, metaphysical subjects. It can be a time where you are transformed through a romantic, intimate relationship, a deep bond with somebody. The 8th house is the house of sudden happening. So things can happen out of the blue suddenly within your life, especially if you have a lot of planets in the sign of Pisces. It's where the North Node will be, but all of the eclipses where the North Node will be are lunar eclipses, which means you're letting something go so that you can make room for new. It's like the closet is full, so something must go if something new will come in. And this can also indicate you even seeking therapy to let go of any childhood trauma, rework something. It's the house of transformation. It's also a time where you can literally transform yourself, your look physically, even through plastic surgery or working out. You can really just completely transform yourself, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your financial situation, Leo. The September 17th lunar eclipse is going to be at 26 degrees of Pisces. If you have any planets from 23 to 29 degrees of Pisces in your 8th house there, you can feel this more. This is still an out of sign eclipse, but Saturn's there. Neptune is close to this eclipse, so you can really feel the changes. You're going to really feel it. And with Neptune there, there could be some kind of a deception going on around money, around how your partner spends money, your business partner spends money, or maybe something that you've been turning a blind eye to that will be exposed to you so that you can deal with it on an appropriate level. Maybe there's new scholarships that you need to take out, new loans you need to take out, go over your taxes a bit more. How you share money. Think of that. That is pretty much what's coming up here. How do you share time? How do you share money? How do you share resources with those around you and those you love? 8th house is other people's money. And how do you do that? Is everything going well in that area? With Saturn going through this house, it is completely restructuring this for you. And you may also be thinking, Leo, completely different about intimacy, and it's going to start now. Something's going to open you up where you feel different about who you want to be intimate with, how you even want to be intimate with people. It may be a time where you just completely, maybe you've been, stop being intimate with people for a while and you're more into learning about yourself, spirituality, into healing right now, getting into metaphysical subjects, and you're on a healing journey, or you are taking things to the next level with a new partner and you're thinking about getting intimate with somebody. So there's a lot going on for you, but this is the house of transformation. So you are transforming in a huge way. It is important that around eclipse time, you don't make any rash decisions, as information could be presented to you a little bit before or a little bit after that you might change your mind about. So don't make any rash decisions, especially this being in your 8th house of sudden happenings. Things can really unfold for you suddenly, Leo. Sudden transformations of relationships, money, and also the way you think and feel about intimacy. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. This next 2 years is going to be huge for you. So I'm just going to give you a little bit preview because the notes don't actually change signs until January. This eclipse we're having is an out of sign eclipse, but for you, this is huge. Of course, if you are a Virgo or rising, or you have planets in the sign of Virgo and Pisces the next 2 years, life changing. If you have a sun in Virgo, there's going to be changes with your image, your career, your health as well. You're going to be seen in a whole new way. If it's your moon, your emotions, your family, and home life might be a move for some of you. If you have a Venus in the sign of Virgo and Pisces, over the next 2 years, relationships, money, and beauty, what you love, will change. If it's Mars, it could be your neighborhood, your siblings, and also your self-efforts. If it's Saturn, new responsibilities coming to you, or old ones leaving you. You're letting go of old responsibilities. But this is huge because you're going to have the South Node in Virgo. And every eclipse in the sign of Pisces, even though the North Node is there, is a lunar eclipse. So this is why it's huge for you guys, because other people are going to play the biggest role in your life right now over the next 2 years, whether it's relationships for you, especially relationships or business relationships or clients. These people are going to change your life, whether it is romantic, business, anything dealing with other people. Other people will change your life. But the South Node is going to be in your sign. So you're kind of going to feel a little bit confused. You don't know what to do. And a lot of situations that these eclipses will bring are going to be out of your control. Honestly, they're just not going to be in your control. You have a lot of control right now with your relationships, who you give your time to because of Saturn there. So Neptune's going to finally leave your 7th house, but the North Node will be there. And these eclipses can bring back a love from the past or a new love to you. One that, will be with you for a really long time. Some of you might be letting go of old relationships and starting new ones. Some of you might be getting married, or some of you might be just falling in love out of the blue. New business partners, new clients, new friends. Some old ones might fall away, but a lot of you guys are going to attract a ton of new people into your life just by way of these eclipses. So a lot of the Virgos have been having such a hard time within relationships. With Saturn there right now, you are readjusting your thinking about relationships, but you've had Neptune there for so long, and a lot of you guys were involved in a lot of who knows what it is, situationships, relationships that are going nowhere, deceit, lies, and right now is your chance to fall in love over the next 2 years in 2025, 2026. I think we also have another eclipse, 2027 on this axis. So right now, a lot of you will be falling in love. So put yourself out there. You might feel like everything is confusing with the South Node in your sign. It's like out of your control. It's confusing. The best thing to do over the next 2 years is to just follow other people. If it seems weird, it's new, just follow the other people that are coming into your life. They're going to unfold a new path for you. And those of you who are, coupled, you could be taking things to the next level, getting more serious, moving in with somebody, getting married, maybe getting pregnant. So this is the time for Virgos to fall in love, start a business, join a partnership of some sort, because new and great opportunities are coming to you in that area over the next 2 years. Look back at 2015, 2016, what was happening in your life at that time. But the most important one is try to look back at 2006, 2007, 2008. The themes that played out at that time are the exact same themes that are going to be coming up for you right now. The September 17th lunar eclipse is at 26 degrees of Pisces. So if you have planets from 23 to 29 degrees of Pisces, you're going to feel this even more. Sun, it could be your health, your image, your career. Moon, home and family life. Mars, your actions, your siblings. Mercury, your school, travel, and you yourself might be undergoing changes. Jupiter, knowledge, faith, maybe some kind of criminal justice case or schooling as well. Saturn, it can be responsibilities that you are letting go of or that are coming to you, or something you have to do, just work you have to do. That is Saturn. Now, this is the area of your 7th house, other people. So this can be a confusing time. Neptune is closely tied with this. So it can be a time where secrets unfold. Whether that be, your spouse, your marriage partner, your business partner, some clients, other people. This can be an emotional time. So don't make any rash decisions right around the eclipse time, Virgos. This is a time where you are letting go of maybe hang-ups about past relationships. You're letting go of past relationships. And so you can make room for the new people that are going to be coming into your life the next 2 years. And this can be even friends, business partners, new clients. If you guys are in business, this is fantastic. You are going to be seen by other people, and a lot of people will be coming to you. But these eclipses can also bring back people from your past. So past people can show up, whether it's just to clear the air, finally let go. If you've been having hang-ups about some ex you cannot get over, you can't get past, these eclipses can help you release those feelings, whether it's them coming back to you so you can hash it out, talk it out, or through these new people that you're going to be meeting. So this is your time, Virgo. From now on, for the next 2 years, relationships and other people are taking the center stage in your life. Libra, sun, moon, and rising. We're about to have an eclipse on September 17th. I'm going to get into that in a minute. But the nodes this January are changing signs, and this eclipse is a preview of that. So we're going to have the North Node go into your 12th house and the South Node go into your 6th house. So huge changes are going to be happening in your 12th house area and your 6th house area. There's going to be 2 more eclipses, one in October, one next year, in your axis as well. But it's going to be shifting, so I want to tell you a little bit about this. If you have sun, moon, or any other planet in the sign of Virgo or Pisces, if it's your sun, your image might change, your career might change. If it is your moon, your family life, your emotions, you might move. If it is Venus, your love life, your money can change. If it is Mercury, it can be your skill sets. Maybe you are gaining skill sets or letting an old skill set go so you could learn a new one. If it's Mars, it's something that you're going to be taking action on. If it's Jupiter, it could be some knowledge, travel. If it's Saturn, it can be letting go or gaining new responsibility. Either way, the North Node will be in your 12th house, where you might find new spiritual teachers. You might want to travel, and you might be working on things behind the scenes. This can be a time where gossip about you shows up. People who no longer should be in your life are revealed to you. The 12th house is hidden enemies. With the North Node there, you might gain a lot more competition, opposition, but they might be revealed to you. The South Node is in your 6th house, so you might be letting go over the next 2 years of people that work under you. Your employees might change. Watch your health, as when the South Node is in the 6th house, it's hard to diagnose any ailments. You could be, trying to be seen by a doctor, and they don't know exactly what's wrong with you. So you could be going from doctor to doctor. It could be a time where you change the people that you get services from, a hairdresser, your nail person, massage therapist, a doctor, a dentist. You can want to let go of the old ones that aren't working for you and try to find new people in that area. So the next 2 years, and I'll discuss it more on this channel, there'll be a lot of changes in these areas for you. The September 17th lunar eclipse is at 26 degrees of Pisces. If you have planets from 23 to 29 degrees of Pisces and Virgo, you're really going to feel this, Libra. This is the 6th house of health, so there could be something coming up that you need to deal with when it comes to your health. It could also be that the people that you work around could be leaving or changing, or there could be issues coming up to, at work or with competition. If you have any competition, anyone, maybe that's like an enemy or a competitor of yours, issues could pop up around this time. It could be more of an emotional eclipse for all of us. Neptune is tied very closely in with this, and this could reveal some deception within your colleagues, the people that you work with. Saturn is making its way through your 6th house, and this eclipse could actually point out what you're not doing, if you're not letting go of a bad habit. It could reveal to you why you might need to or have to, or any kind of bad day-to-day activities that you are involved in that are not, they're not adding to your life. They're just taking away. So you can restructure, reorganize. You have Saturn there right now, so you could have issues at work, or just more work is piling up on you, and maybe even confusion about what to do at work. The people around you at work, or just your day-to-day life that you have to deal with, could be, putting more pressure on you. And this eclipse could just reveal to you what you need to change. How can you change your life around so that it could work better? How can you organize yourself better? What kind of better routine can you invite into your life? Your eating habits and anything that is holding you back. So maybe some of you are involved in big competitions or trying to get a big promotion, because the 6th house is work. So you could feel like you are just working extra hard. And this eclipse will show you what you need to shed in that area of your life. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. The eclipse points are going to be changing soon. In fact, this fall, September, we have the eclipse in Pisces, which I will go over in a bit. But in January, the North and South Node are changing signs. So the North Node will be in your 5th house of children, romance, creativity. And the South Node will be in your 11th house, groups, friendships, organizations, your hopes and dreams. So over the next 2 years, you guys might be letting go of certain dreams, certain hopes you've had, and creating new ones. You could be letting go of outdated friendships, groups, clubs that you belong to. Who you socialize with will undergo a major change over the next 2 years. And it starts this fall. The North Node will be going into your 5th house, so you can find new passions, things that bring you life, new hobbies, and maybe turn creative hobbies into a business as well. This could be a time where huge shifts and changes are happening in your children's lives. They could be going off to college, getting married. You could be having children, some of you getting pregnant, starting a romance, or even investing in the stock market, investing overall, having more fun. Saturn is in this house right now, so you guys are probably very serious about this house, or you are working through a lot of issues, problems to try to, maybe even with your children, with your creative hobbies, things don't seem as fun. And the North Node is going to try to open new areas up for you where the 5th house is concerned. A love, romance, creativity. You can find a new creative project that you love. New sports you get involved in. Your children could be getting involved in new ventures. So a lot of changes in your friendships, your relationships that you have with your children, and also romantic partners are coming. If you are a single Scorpio, you could be over the next 2 years meeting somebody you fall madly in love with the North Node going into your 5th house. Maybe even somebody you want to move in with, have children with. So a complete overhaul in these 2 areas of your life if you have planets as well in Pisces or in Virgo, say it's Sun, then for the next 2 years, your public image and your career can change. If it's Moon, your family life, a move even, your inner emotions. If it's Mars, there could be changes within your neighborhood, your siblings, as well as what you have to do on a day-to-day basis. If it's Mercury, new skills, new hobbies. If it's Venus, new romance, or, maybe you're letting go of an old romantic partner, starting a new romantic venture, as well as beauty and money. So also what you find beautiful will change. Your clothing style can change. If it's Saturn, it could be letting go of old responsibilities or gaining new responsibilities. If it's Jupiter, knowledge can be coming into your life, because the 5th house is also spiritual knowledge. So a lot of you could be maybe learning new spiritual practices, new spiritual subjects for the next 2 years. The September 17th lunar eclipse is at 26 degrees of Pisces, happening for you, Scorpio, in the area of love, romance, children, creativity. Your 5th house, if you have planets from 23 to 29 degrees of Pisces or Virgo, you're going to feel this even stronger. So there could be a letting go. Maybe your children are heading off to college. They're doing something different. They're graduating. They're completely overhauling their lives. So there could be a change in the lives of your children or in the relationship you have with them, on a day-to-day basis. Or some of you could be getting pregnant, having children, or thinking about it. It could be a time where you let go of a romantic partner as well as a creative hobby, maybe that you've been working on, putting the finishing touches on it, or let go of one hobby to start a new creative venture, a new hobby, something that brings you joy now. And maybe there's an old hobby that doesn't bring you as much joy. So you're going to see this start to unfold as time goes on, and you're going to see this, starting September. So maybe some of you are also, investing in the stock market, or you're letting go of certain investments at this time, or you're thinking about letting go of certain investments. But this can be an emotional time. Neptune's closely tied with this eclipse, so it can feel like maybe you're learning some truths. You're uncovering things when it comes to a romance, creativity, even education, something that you are studying. You could be uncovering things, and you're going to have to make some decisions. Don't make any rash decisions around eclipse time. Everybody is more emotional. Emotions are heightened. So wait and see as things will unfold to you. Eclipses just bring things into our lives, especially if we have planets or important points on the degrees that they are happening. These are fated events, so if it's meant to happen, it's gonna just unfold, sometimes in a shocking way, in a really quick, out of the blue way. And for you, this has to do with romance, creativity, children, something that you're learning, or even stocks, bonds, and any investments that you hold. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. I'm going to get to the September 17th lunar eclipse in a little bit. But before I do that, I want to show you and talk to you a little bit about the fact that North and South Node are about to change signs in January, which means new areas of your life are about to be activated for a huge dramatic change. The eclipses are fated events. They bring things, people, situations into our lives to help us evolve. And sometimes the lessons are hard, sometimes they're great, but they are shifting for you. So, and if you are a Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising, you're going to feel this, because whenever we have eclipses in the 1st, 7th, 4th, and 10th house axis, we feel these more strongly. You are going to have the North Node in the sign of Pisces, your 4th house. Huge changes in the lives of your parents. Watch your parents' health, in the lives that you have at home, your inner emotions. It could be moving, getting a new car within the next 2 years. There could be huge developments in the lives of your parents. Their lives could be shifting and changing on a dramatic level as well. Now, the South Node will be in your 10th house, so maybe some of you will be retiring, getting a new job, getting a promotion, starting a new business, but you're letting go of something. There, you are letting go of maybe an old job, an old title at a job, or because of you're moving, so you want to start something else. There's going to be a sense of letting go and not caring so much about your career and focusing more on home, family life, maybe home ownership, and the life that you lead at home. It could be you start a business from inside your home. Huge dramatic changes are coming in the 4th house. So home, family, mother, and the 10th house, career. Think back to 2015, 2016, but more importantly, think back to 2006, 2007, and 2008. The themes playing out in the next 2 years were the same back then. So if you also have planets in Pisces and Virgo, this will affect you even more if it's sun, career, public image, and health. If it's moon, home, family, and where you live. If it's Mars, siblings, neighborhood. And also the actions that you take on a day-to-day basis. If it's Jupiter, knowledge. If it's Saturn, it's responsibilities. If it's Mercury, it's a skill that you're learning or letting go of an old one to learn a new one. If it's Venus, your love life can be changing. The clothes that you find beautiful, what you find beautiful, and as well as your money situation. So big shifts for you. And to continue on with that, the September 17th lunar eclipse at 26 degrees of Pisces is happening in your 4th house of home, family, mother, your inner emotions. Saturn's there. This eclipse is very much closely tied with Neptune. It could be a time where you are fixing something around the house, your car. There's some kind of secret that might be revealed within the family, maybe through your parents, through the people that you live with. There's something you might learn. Some deception might come to light for some of you. Or it can be a confusing, emotional time as well. Don't make any rash decisions around the eclipse. Things will start to unfold. And even though the North and South Node don't change signs until January, it is this very eclipse that's going to start this cycle for you. You're going to see that the big important themes start this fall. They're changing for you. It's going to be home, family, which have been for you, Sagittarius, because you have Saturn in your fourth house. So you're working really hard to maybe repair bonds with your family. There could be a lot of fights, arguments in the home. It feels like your home is stuffy, too small, like you want to move. That's the kind of things that can happen with Saturn transiting the fourth house. And now the North Node is going in there. So it's really going to push you in a new direction when it comes to home and family. And it's going to start this fall. It could be the purchase of a new home. You're thinking about a new home. A lunar eclipse, though, is about letting go. Maybe you're letting go of some possessions, an old vehicle, an old home. It could be that, you're saying goodbye to where you live or some family members even. There's a change coming within your home and family life. And you're going to start to feel these dynamics. So it can be an emotional time for you, Sagittarius, because, this is an emotional house. Your emotional security is tied in there. And you're going to feel things start to shift and change there now. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising. I'm going to get to the September 17th lunar eclipse in a little bit. But for right now, I just want to tell you that this fall, this very eclipse is going to start the cycle of what you're going to be feeling for the next 2 years. The eclipses, the North and the South Node, don't actually change signs into the Pisces and Virgo axis until January 2025. But this eclipse, you're going to start feeling it. So Pisces is your third house. This is where you're going to have the North Node go into. So the area of self-efforts, something that you're learning, your neighborhood, siblings. If you are a blogger, a writer, you do anything with your hands, any kind of skills like that, it could be where you are gaining new skills, starting a business with your skills, or you're building a social media, a website. This is going to be where you are going to be given, a new way of life. Something new is coming to you in this area over the next 2 years. Now, the South Node will be in your ninth house. So maybe you are finally finishing up school. You are maybe letting go of certain teachers, certain ideas that you've had about life, certain philosophies, and you're just letting that go. It's no longer going to be as important. It could also involve moving, passports, any kind of publication that you are involved in, maybe finishing up or wrapping up to create an online course or a new business. So for you, this is going to be about self-efforts. It could be your relationship with your siblings are changing, or, they're going through different phases in their life right now. And your relationship is different. It could be that your relationship with your coworkers, as schoolmates and neighbors, is also changing, and the people around you that live around you are changing. And you can also acquire a lot of new equipment, computers, cameras, things that you need. New hobbies as well will be unfolding for you over the next 2 years, and it's going to start now with this eclipse that we're having. Now, I want you to look back to 2006, 2007, 2008, because the themes that are playing out right now were the same ones playing out back then, as well as 2015, 2016, where the nodes were opposite. The themes were the same. If you have planets in Virgo or in Pisces, these eclipses coming up over the next 2 years will also be life-changing. If it's Sun, think a big change in your career, health, your image. If it's Moon, family life, where you live, your inner emotions. If it's Venus, relationships, beauty, what you like, your style, the way that you dress, money. If it's Jupiter, knowledge and expansion. If it's Mars, what you do on a day-to-day basis, your siblings. If it's Mercury, it's your skill sets. You're either letting go of some, starting new skill sets. If it is Saturn, it could be releasing old responsibilities or gaining new responsibilities. So the September 17th lunar eclipse is happening at 26 degrees of Pisces in your third house of self-efforts, your initiation, what you are doing, any kind of skill sets, hobbies, your neighborhood, your siblings. And this is a lunar eclipse. It could be a time where maybe you're letting go of old, outdated equipment you use for the job, for something that you are doing. You're letting go of a skill you no longer want, to work with, and you want to gain new skills. You are going to want new things to happen in this area. New things, new people will be introduced to you that, in your neighborhood, at work, people that teach you skill sets that maybe you need or want to learn. So this can be a time of expansion, but not yet. The lunar eclipse could feel emotional or like you're uncovering secrets. It's closely tied with Neptune. You have Saturn there. It could be where your siblings have been having a rougher time right now, or the relationship that you have with your siblings seems strained, like you're not as close with your siblings, or they're going through a hard time, or just the way that you interact isn't going as well. It could also feel like that with your neighbors, the people that maybe you work with very closely. Now, the lunar eclipse is about letting go so that we could later make room for something new. So if you have to let go of old hobbies, old ways of doing things, learn new systems, integrate new systems, new ideas into your life, maybe for building websites, blogging, filming. If any of you are in like a social media industry, this is going to be a fantastic eclipse cycle for you, because the North Node will be expanding this area for you, and Saturn is making you really work hard and probably giving you a lot more responsibilities at the same time. With Neptune being so close, tied with this eclipse, it could be your siblings revealing some secret to you, you finding out a secret of theirs maybe. Now, don't make any rash decisions around the eclipse time. And if you have, of course, personal planets from 23 to 29 degrees of Pisces or Virgo, you could feel this eclipse even more. If it's Sun, you could feel it on an emotional level, or maybe it's tied in with your mother, your home life. If it's Venus, it could be love relationships that are changing right now, or your style, what you love. If it is Mercury, a skill set maybe that is no longer useful, that you need to relearn, do something different. If it's Mars, it could be actions that you are taking that now need to change. So it's going to be different for everybody, but this area of life is requiring you to let go of something so that new things can be rebuilt in this area. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm going to get to the September 17th lunar eclipse in just a bit. But in January, the nodes are changing signs, and they're going to be in the signs of Pisces and Virgo. So pretty much for the next 2 years, and it starts this fall, you're going to have lessons and new things unfolding for you in a different area of your life. So for you, Aquarius, Pisces is your second house. That's where the North Node will go into in January. But this eclipse we're going to have this fall in September is in the sign of Pisces, where a lot's going on anyways with Saturn and Neptune. And so that means you are going to probably start making a lot more money, or maybe buy and acquire more possessions. This is where your focus will be over the next 2 years, these eclipses. So you're going to be letting go of old things that are no longer needed and finding new ways to make money or buy the possessions you've always wanted. When the North Node is traveling the second house, money will be on your mind. Money, finances, how to make money, starting a business, and as well as acquiring land, vehicles, jewelry, things you've always wanted. The South Node will be in your 8th house in the sign of Virgo, which is the house of shared resources, intimacy, occult subject, and transformation. So anytime we have the north and south node on the 2nd and 8th house axis, it's a transformation. It's either internal or external. It's financial and it's intimate. So there is transformations within intimate relationships, the way you feel about being intimate with your partner. The 2nd and 8th house can also be a divorce, separation for some people. Not for some, it could actually be joining finances and just getting together with somebody. But for others, it could literally be a separation and a divorce, because huge changes, the house of transformation, are made when it comes to finances. And 2nd house also rules family. So your focus will be shifting to finances, possessions, acquiring things, but also on your family, on your possessions, on your shared resources, intimacy, how you share time. So a lot of you over the next 2 years will find maybe how things are shared within a family unit, within your finances. You'll find it to be unfair and you'll need to change it up, because this is where the changes will be coming when the nodes are in Pisces and Virgo for you Aquarius. Now, if you have planets in the sign of Pisces and Virgo, these eclipses will be even more important as they go on. And think back to 2015, 2016. The nodes were in opposite signs, but really think back to 2006, 2007, 2008. That's the exact themes will be playing out for you now. And if you have planets in the Virgo and Pisces axis, if you have Sun, there's going to be huge career, image, and maybe health changes coming to you. If you have Moon in Pisces and Virgo, it will be lots of changes in home, family life, maybe even where you live. If it's Venus, relationships, money, what you find beautiful, the style of clothes you wear might be completely changing. You might be shifting your aesthetic. If it's Mars, your actions will change. Maybe the lives of your siblings. If it's Mercury, then it could be skill sets you are, not going to use anymore, or gaining new skill sets. If it's Jupiter, knowledge. If it's Saturn, it's gaining a lot of responsibility, or it's, letting go of some responsibility. So huge changes are coming up, and they're going to be in a new area of your life, your financial and intimate sector. The September 17th lunar eclipse is at 26 degrees of Pisces. So if you do have planets from 23 to 29 degrees of Pisces or Virgo, you're going to feel this even more. And this is going to start the cycle where you're going to be thinking about possessions, finances, how you share time, intimacy, and all your shared resources with your partner, with your family, even your self-esteem, how and what you could do to improve your self-worth, improve your self-esteem. They kind of go hand in hand, self-esteem and finances. What is your time worth? Are you getting paid what you are worth? You're going to be asking yourself these questions. You're going to be making new strides and changes within this area. But this is a lunar eclipse. There's a letting go, a shedding process coming to you here. This is closely tied with Neptune, this eclipse. Saturn is already restructuring this house for you. This could be where you find mistakes in financial matters that you are taking care of within your family, within your business. It could be where you find out, you have been misled. And it could be even coming from close family members or a spouse, misled about your finances, or how money is spent, how money is used, what it's being used for. Not for all of you, but this is a big possibility here, where you find things out, or maybe you're restructuring your budget, letting go, canceling things that you no longer find useful. You could be canceling a Netflix membership or HBO Max, whatever, Disney Plus, because you no longer find things useful. The 2nd house is our resources, but we also find them useful, right? You need to find what you spend money on to be of use, to be of service to you. And you're going to be questioning things and letting go of possessions or things you spend money on that you no longer want to, need to. It doesn't benefit your life. With Saturn making its way through this house in this eclipse here, a lot of you maybe are needing dental work. Or maybe you are working on your self-image, your self-esteem. You could be purging old clothes, jewelry, things that you used to find aesthetic, beautiful, beneficial, no longer align with you. And you're wanting to shed that before you start new, start buying new things, new possessions. A lot of times it takes letting go of our old stuff to be like, I don't like that anymore. I like this now. So that's the kind of process you are beginning. So don't make any rash decisions. Remember, things can come out of the blue like a lightning bolt to us within eclipse time. And this fall, this September, is no different. Now, we're all going to feel things a little bit different. We don't all have planets around these degrees. But look back to 2006, 2007, beginning of 2008. What were you going through? The astrology wheel is like we are taking steps. Our soul journey, we are taking steps. And this is the step, the second house, your possessions, your self-worth, what you're worth, your time, is right before it goes into your sign where you are completely transforming yourself. So this is needed. This is the much needed step before the eclipses go into the sign of Aquarius and Leo, where you're of course going to transform your life in a huge way. And now you are transforming your self-worth. And this is the beginning of that. Your finances, your self-worth, and your possessions, what you find meaningful, what you need, and what you don't. It is going to become clear to you starting September what you need to shed away. Sometimes, the lessons could be painful, and some could just be really easy, depending on if you do actually have personal planets there. But it's the very beginning where the finances you make, the money you make, the time you spend on the money you make, intimate relationships, all that is going to start to shift and change. And this is the first eclipse that's going to bring that forth to you. 2025, 2026, and even early 2027, you are going to really see this take hold. You're going to see all of what I'm talking about. Good luck, Aquarius. Leave a comment down below if you are feeling it already, if you're going through it. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Life-changing events are about to be unfolding for you in the next 2 years. And I want to just talk about it a little bit before I get into the September 17th lunar eclipse in your sign. So the North and South Node are changing signs. It happens in January using the Western zodiac. You're going to feel it now with this eclipse, and you're probably already starting to feel the changes. I mean, you have Saturn in your sign, so you're completely shifting and restructuring your life, how you live anyway. Neptune is about to leave, and Neptune is closely tied with this eclipse that's coming. But now, the hugest life changes are going to be happening for you, whether you are Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, or Pisces Rising. Think back to 2015, 2016. The nodes were in opposite. So the South Node was in your sign. But really look back at 2006, 2007, early 2008. Those are the exact themes that will be playing out for you in 2025, 2026, and even early 2027. Huge changes within yourself, your image, and your relationships, even your business relationships, your friendships, how you do business, your clients, but especially marriage, one-to-one relationship, and you yourself, your identity. You are probably going to undergo a huge personality shift and change. What is important to you will change. Your style can change. You can change your hairstyle, your wardrobe, your fitness goals. everything like that can change. And ask in your relationships, because that's where the South Node will be. Some of you will be letting go of outdated friendships, business partnerships, and, relationships. Marriage. Some of you could be getting married. This can also point to a time where exes, people you haven't seen in a while, come back for a redo, or they want a second chance, because the South Node can do that. The South Node can always bring people back from the past or you can feel like the people coming to have relationships with you over the next 2 years, like you've known them in a past life. Like you have this past life connection, and there is something that needs to be done in this life with you two coming together. And this could even be a new business partner, a new close friend, somebody that you confide in, or clients that come to you. If you have a business where clients come to you, the clients that come to you might be you might give a feeling of, I knew this person in a past life. That's what the South Node in the 7th house can bring you. With this North Node in your 1st house, you can feel like you've outgrown certain relationships. Like you need to move past certain hurts. The South Node eclipse is happening in your 7th house. Is also a time, Pisces, where if you've been hung up on an ex, somebody you just couldn't get over, maybe you're doing the back and forth on and off thing again, over the next 2 years, you can finally release it. You can release that pain. You're no longer going to want to deal with them. It's like you're finally going to accept things. You are going to finally be able to accept people for what they are, and that is how your change will happen. Your self-esteem will grow. You are going to completely change your image to the outside world. Even huge changes are made. Some of you could be getting pregnant, getting married, buying a house, and of course, some of you could be entering new relationships or getting rid of outdated ones. So these are huge life changes. If you have your sun, moon, or any planets in the sign of Pisces and Virgo, whoa, these are going to be even more important to you. If you have sun in Pisces, your career, image, and health could be changing, as well as if you have it in Virgo. If you have moon in these two signs, your home life, your family, your emotions, getting pregnant, buying a house, things like that could be happening. If you have your Venus, your relationships, your aesthetic, the style you wear will change, as well as your money. If it's Mars, your actions, what you do on a day-to-day basis, what's important will change. If it's Mercury, skill sets will change or be gained. If it's Jupiter, knowledge will be gained, or, outdated knowledge tossed aside. If it's Saturn, it's gaining new responsibilities or letting go of old ones. And of course, Saturn is transiting Pisces right now. So you guys are just undergoing a huge, huge transformation. Let me know down below if you remember 2015, 2016, 2006, 2007. What were you going through in life? Do you feel the sense of these changes coming up for you right now? The September 17th lunar eclipse is at 26 degrees of Pisces. If you have planets from 23 to 29 degrees of Pisces or Virgo, you're gonna feel this more. All right, the area that the planet rules will be kind of shaken up for you a bit. This is going to be the start of what 2025, 2026 is going to be about for you. So it's a big one, because pay attention to how you're starting to feel around September 17th. Don't make any rash decisions. Things might come to you out of the blue in an inconvenient Neptunian way. Neptune is closely tied with this eclipse, and it could, be that you guys find out some kind of lie, deceit from people around you around this time. It could be coming from a romantic partner, a business partner, somebody that you're close to. You could find out a secret or something that they've been hiding, keeping from you, that changes how you look at the relationship or how you feel about them, and so it could be an emotional time. for a lot of you, it can be an emotional time, especially if you have planets close to those degrees. Or it could be a time right now where you're finally like, I don't like where my life is headed, where it's going, and I want to completely change that. A lot of Pisces are going to be having that realization and are already starting to have that realization in August, because things start happening before the eclipses. But even if you have planets in the sign of Virgo, you could be feeling like this. Saturn in your sign is, of course, restructuring you, making you more responsible, more independent, and just more organized within your life. But the nodes will have you question, is this right for me? Is this the right way? Is this the right relationship? Is this the right job? Is this the right look? So you're going to start to ask yourself these questions. And the lunar eclipse is sometimes when things are taken away from us, sometimes out of the blue, we don't want it. I've seen with eclipses on the 1st and 7th house axis, somebody's partner just leaves them. You find out a partner's been unfaithful. Just random stuff, or you meet somebody out of the blue and you fall in love, or you leave an old relationship, start a new one, you start to think about marriage, you start to think about children, huge life changes. So it does not mean anyone's breaking up, but it could for some people. We are all living a different life. Coming to you now, and in 2025, 2026 is a shift, a huge shift. So we humans, we hate change. So eclipses a lot of times will just give us the change. They'll be like, nope, you're not doing it right. Psh, let me take that from you. Let me give you this. Let me give you that. That is kind of what happens during eclipse time. You guys can see that probably if you've been into astrology for a while. So what's coming to you right now is you need to let go of things that no longer are useful. They're not meant for you, and that you're going to be shown this. So you're going to see this in either a shocking way, or you're going to be like, I can't do this anymore with certain aspects of your life, not just relationships, everything. I see always the hugest life changes that people make are when eclipses are involved, and when they're on the 1st and 7th house axis, it's huge. You could be like, oh my gosh, I haven't been eating well, and now I'm going to start eating well. And somebody could get into working out, totally transform their body. They could get pregnant, start a whole family. They could meet the love of their life. They could divorce. They could move across the country. Huge, huge, drastic changes. Now, not for all of us. So every time the eclipses come up, if your planet is close to the degree of the eclipse, that's when you're going to start to feel the changes. So it's not that every eclipse that happens is life-changing. But do look back to 2006, 2007, early 2008. What was happening in your life? The themes are the same, and they are beginning this September 17th with this lunar eclipse, which for some people could just be like a wake-up call of what they need to let go of. For others, it's maybe things people are removed from their life. Or for others, it's just starting to question, the area of life that they're in, and if it's right for them, and what changes they need to make. All right, let me know down below if you're starting to feel it, and good luck, Pisces. I hope you found this helpful. Like and comment down below. Subscribe for more.